Our reading this morning is from the minister and theologian Howard Thurman. There is something which seems utterly final about the end of a year. It means that we are 1 year older. This fact is definite and inexorable. We're 12 months closer to the end of our physical time span, 1 year closer to death. It means in some important ways we're taken farther from or brought closer to the goal of our living, whatever that goal may be. It means that some crucial questions which were unanswered 12 months ago have been finally and decidedly answered. Whatever doubts there may have been about the result are completely removed. Now we know. It means that we are in fuller or lesser possession of ourselves and our powers than ever before. During the passing of the 12 months, experiences have come into our lives which reveal certain things about ourselves which we had not expected. Some new demand was made upon us, which caused us to behave in a manner that was stranger to our established pattern of life. We felt shocked, surprised, enraged, or delighted that such was possible for us. We met someone with whom we built the kind of relationship that opened up to us new worlds of wonder and magic, which were completely closed to us 12 months ago. It means that we are wiser, by far, than we were at the year's beginning. The circling series of events upon whose bosom we have wafted cut away our pretensions, stripping us bare of much beneath which we have hidden, even from ourselves. And when we saw ourselves revealed, there was born a wisdom about life and its meaning that makes us say with all our hearts this day that life is good, not evil. It means that we've been able to watch as if bewitched while the illumined finger of God pointed a path through the surrounding darkness where no path lay. Exposed to our surprised gaze a door where we were sure there was only a blank wall. Revealed the strong arms and assuring voices of friends when we were sure that in our plight we were alone. Utterly, starkly alone. All of these meanings and many more counsel us that because life is dynamic and we are deeply alive, the end of the year can only mean the end of the year. Not the end of life, not the end of us, not even the end of time. We turn our faces toward the year being born with a riding hope that will carry us into the days ahead with courage and confidence. The old year dies. The new year is being born. Long live life.
Well, almost nothing I say today can be as powerful as the ritual we're about to engage in. Nor is anything I say additional to the points that Howard Thurman's words that you just heard spoke of. The old year dies, the new year is being born, long live life. End of sermon. Long live life struck me as a great New Year salutation, because life can only live on and live itself, and because it is the kind of greeting we all need, like raising a glass. Instead of Happy New Year, may or may not be happy, how about long live life? Each year I lament the false celebrations of time passing, the forced merrymaking, the harnessed pressure to party at New Year's. And every year when the ball drops and the kisses of friends and family are passed around, my disappointment disappears. And I feel a real kind of joy embodied in Thurman's statement. Long live life indeed, I say to myself. And I try to remember that all the events in my life and the lives of those around me in the past calendar year do have meaning, even when they are fleeting, even when they are hard to remember and hard to grasp. And the new year demands we strive forward. We strive forward to be better, to give our bodies and minds a second chance, and to test the limits of our willpower. We do this with resolutions. Now, some of us make resolutions to strive forward, to correct, to slim and strengthen. One of my resolutions this year was to eat better, and specifically not to eat fried foods. To my astonishment, at lunch on New Year's Day, I caught myself stealing French fries from my children's plate. Oh, the resolutions. But rather than resolutions, we are here today to put something down, to lighten the load on the soul and the heart, to release ourselves from the things that hold us back and strive to be more forgiving of others and ourselves. We are here metaphorically to shed a skin from the old year and to put on a new one. The late Harvard preacher Peter Gomes told a story that one day he saw a young friend at the cafeteria when he was a student at Harvard. His friend had always had an enormous leonine head of hair, but this time the friend was bald as an egg. Gomes thought his friend was ill like we would. He worried at the sight of him. In his mind, he created all those same scenarios that we might create. The chemotherapy, the time in the hospital, the short future. He went up to his friend and he asked, "How are you?" And the young man replied, "Fine." "Oh, you mean my head," he said. Gomes said, "Yes, I was curious." And the young man said, "Well, I've joined the varsity swim team. And I've shaved my head to cut down on the drag. It's aerodynamics." Gomes asked, "Does it really make a difference?" The young man said, "I don't want to take the risk that it doesn't." Gomes thought that was an impressive idea. And he recounted, "We did beat Dartmouth that year." He realized, though, in that moment that letting go was not a luxury for those who wish to strive forward, but something necessary. To strive ahead, one must cut the anchor. To lose weight, one must cut ties with the nagging disappointment with the body. To get stronger, one must let go of the word can't. To go to church more often, one must let go of the coffee cup or the sense that it doesn't matter. That's the preacher pressuring you a little bit. The Apostle Paul wrote of the job of the faithful that straining forward toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God was the highest calling. Straining forward means getting rid of the impediments in our lives that hold us back from our best selves. We turn our faces toward the year being born, Thurman said, knowing that Paul urged his people to strain forward, not for New Year's resolutions, but as a way toward a truer relationship with the holy. Peter Gomes said of straining forward, "The living God is the God who goes before you. And if you want that God, then that is where you have to be and to go." God, or a deeper sense of self, or a sense of your purpose in the world, goes before you. So to leave the things that weigh on you behind, something, some person, some event, some regret, some disappointment. That is the task today. And the way to strain forward as spiritual people. Now, I imagine if we literally put all the things we want to leave behind in the last year up here on the chancel, it would be quite a large pile. Mine would include the car that I crashed 3 weeks ago, and all the insurance paperwork, and the pain in my hip, and the confusion, and all that tied up with that. So that's here already. The car on its side a little bit, maybe. And then add that the regrets and the disappointments, a few people that I'd like to leave behind in 2011, some other disappointments, annoying bills that come to my house for having false alarms from the city of Dallas. That one really gets me. So now we're up here. I imagine if we all piled our things that we want to leave behind, we would fill this room, no doubt. And if I know you as well as I know myself, I know you have something to add to that pile. The fact is that you might do it just in case it frees you in a way you never imagined. Like Peter Gomes' friend cutting his hair in order to strive forward in his pursuit. And the good news is that there's a ritual for that. And we call it the burning service, which asks you to put it down, to let it go. Now, we gave you a little slip of paper, which is either in your hand or on the floor next to you. You can't write a book on it. That's why it's little. Because you can only write just a few things that you are serious about letting go of on that paper. And before you do, ask yourself these questions. What am I carrying this new year that holds me back? Some grudge or anger, some bad news or event that I wish to forget, some unfinished business that seems to never be satisfied, some anxiety that constitutes the leftovers of the past. I believe that we as spiritual people must ask ourselves these questions, not only today, but every day, and especially, though, today, so that we can ritually leave them behind, so that we can strain forward to see what lies ahead, so that we can salute the new year honestly, saying, "Long live life." So let us take a few moments to reflect and write, and then we will pray, and then we will sing, and then the ushers will assist you in your burning of the things you wish to leave behind.